Hey, welcome to our explainer. Today, we are diving into a really powerful, maybe even a little provocative idea from Alina Chamberlain's work. It's all about how to seriously increase your value in a relationship, basically by using your absence in a very strategic way. It's called the Scarcity Method, and you know what? Let's just jump right in.
And right here, this single sentence, this is the whole game. It's the entire foundation for everything we're about to talk about. It's a simple, fundamental truth about how our brains are wired, and according to the source material, it is the absolute key to completely flipping the script on how you're seen in your relationship. So here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to define what the scarcity method actually is. Then we'll get into how to build your value from the ground up, add a really unique intuitive edge, and then the big one, how to pull off the strategic withdrawal. And finally, we'll see how all of this leads to you becoming absolutely essential.
Okay, so let's get right to it. What in the world is the scarcity method? Well, at its heart, it's about making a shift, a really big one. It's about moving from just being a partner, a companion, to becoming totally woven into his ambition, his success, and honestly, his very idea of who he is.
Now, and this is so important, this method is not about looks. It's not about being charming in a superficial way. Nope. It's all about becoming the main source of these incredibly high-value emotional resources. We're talking unshakable support, real wisdom, and then, at just the right moment, you strategically make those resources scarce.
And that brings us to the first practical step. Look, before you can create scarcity of something, you have to build something that's incredibly valuable in the first place, right? So your first job is to become the architect of his confidence.
The source material gives us 3 key steps here. First, you have to be his #1 ally, especially when things get tough. Second, give him your complete undivided attention. Make him feel like he's the most fascinating person in the room. And third, you act as what's called a mirror of greatness. You reflect back to him the absolute best version of himself. Essentially, your presence becomes the fuel for his ambition.
Okay, so once you've got that foundation set, the method introduces this really unique layer of value that honestly goes way beyond just normal support. This is all about using what the source calls your intuitive edge.
So this is about you tapping into your gut feeling, that inner knowing. When you start offering insights that begin with, I feel like, or my intuition is telling me, you're not just giving an opinion, you're giving him an emotional compass. It's a whole different kind of intelligence that perfectly complements his logical way of thinking, and pretty soon, he starts to really rely on it. Your insight becomes this luxury that he just can't imagine operating without. And this, right here, brings us to the absolute core of the technique. We've built the value, we've established that unique intuitive edge, and now it's time for the strategic withdrawal. This is where we actually put the scarcity part into play.
I know what you're thinking. It sounds totally backwards, doesn't it? How can being gone actually make you more valuable? Well, the source argues it's not just about your absence. It's about the giant hole your absence leaves behind. And there's the key phrase, motivational vacuum. See, the goal isn't just to make him miss you. The real goal is to make him miss the best version of himself, the version of him that really only shows up when you're around. Your absence creates this powerful void where all of that support and confidence and guidance used to be.
Okay, so let's paint a picture of how this works. Imagine he's got a huge presentation coming up. Over time, he's gotten used to you being there, giving him that final confidence boost, that final polish. But this time, something comes up, a real emergency, and you just can't be there. And in that moment, standing there alone, he feels it. He feels that motivational vacuum. He realizes his A-game, his peak confidence, was partly a gift from you.
All right, let's move into the final section, the end game. Let's see how all this leads to the ultimate transformation, going from a valued partner to an absolute undeniable necessity. You see, that moment of self-doubt that he feels when you're not there, it triggers something really profound in him. It forces him to stop taking you for granted and to finally, consciously realize just how massive a role you play in his success and really his entire sense of well-being.
This is it. This is the thought, the one that crystallizes everything in his mind. It's the moment he makes that explicit connection. My performance, my state of mind, it's directly tied to her presence. Your value isn't some abstract idea anymore. It's real, it's tangible, and he feels it.
And this slide really shows the full transformation. You go from being an appreciated partner to being the foundation of his courage, from a source of support to a form of psychological nourishment. You're no longer just someone who's enjoyable to be around, you are now the secret ingredient to his success.
And that, right there, is the ultimate goal of the scarcity method. It's not just about being loved or wanted. It's about becoming so deeply integrated into his life, his confidence, his success, that the very thought of losing you becomes terrifying. So there you have it. The scarcity method presents this really clear, if a little calculated, path to becoming indispensable. But it leaves us with one last, really important question to ask ourselves. While you're busy being the architect of his confidence, what's the true foundation of your own? Now that is something worth thinking about.
You can find the electronic version of book She Who Awakens by Alina Chamberlain at wishforlove.org.